Michael Patterson had been custodian at Hartwell Academy, an elite private school, for 6 years. At 43, his gentle demeanor and graying beard made him a favorite among students who often stopped to chat while he polished the marble floors of the prestigious institution. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, with her bright blonde curls and infectious smile, was the light of his world. Every afternoon, she would wait for him in the main hallway after her classes, doing homework while he finished his duties. The yellow cardigan she wore today was a hand-me-down from a neighbor, but Lily wore it like it was made of sunshine. Michael's light blue custodial uniform was always immaculate, pressed each morning before their quiet breakfast together. He took pride in his work, even if some parents looked right through him during school events and parent conferences. That Tuesday afternoon, as Michael was cleaning the administrative wing, he noticed unusual commotion in the headmistress's office. Through the glass doors, he could see Elena Worthington, the school's board chair and successful attorney, pacing frantically while speaking on her phone. Elena was known throughout the school community for her sharp business acumen and impeccable style. Today, her navy blue business suit was as perfectly tailored as always, her dark hair pulled back in an elegant chignon. But something in her normally composed demeanor suggested distress. When Elena emerged from the office, her eyes were red-rimmed, with unshed tears. She nearly collided with Michael in the hallway. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said, steadying herself against the wall. "Are you all right, ma'am?" Michael asked with genuine concern. Elena looked at this kind man she had seen around the school but never really noticed. Yes, I'm fine. Just a difficult day." But she wasn't fine, and something in Michael's patient expression made the words spill out. "My parents are flying in from Boston tomorrow. They've never approved of my career choices. Always felt I should have married young and settled down like my sister." Elena's voice grew tight. "I may have exaggerated about having someone special in my life. Now they're expecting to meet my fiancé at the school's autumn gala this weekend." Michael nodded sympathetically. "Family expectations can be challenging." "The man I've been seeing just ended things," Elena continued, surprising herself with this confession to a virtual stranger. "He said he couldn't handle the pressure of my lifestyle, and now I'm supposed to introduce my parents to someone who doesn't exist." She laughed bitterly. "I've built a successful law practice, serve on 3 charitable boards, and I can negotiate million-dollar contracts. But I can't seem to navigate a simple family dinner without disappointing everyone." Michael was quiet for a moment. Sometimes the pressure to be perfect makes us forget that being genuine is what matters most. Elena studied his face. There was wisdom in his eyes, and a kindness that seemed to come from deep experience. "This might sound completely insane," she said slowly, "but would you consider helping me? Just for one evening. Meet my parents as my friend. Nothing elaborate, just someone kind and decent to show them I haven't completely isolated myself." Michael looked surprised. "Ma'am, I'm not sure I'm the right person for that. You're a good man," Elena interrupted. "I can see that, and honestly, that's more than I can say about most of the men in my social circle." "Dad?" Lily appeared around the corner, having finished her homework. "Is everything okay?" Elena looked down at the little girl and felt her heart squeeze. "And you must be Lily. Your father talks about you constantly." Lily beamed. "He does. He talks about you too. He says you work really hard to make the school better for all of us kids." Elena knelt down to Lily's level. "What do you think about me borrowing your dad for just one evening? There's a fancy party at the school, and I could use a friend there." Lily considered this seriously. "Will there be dancing? Dad's a really good dancer. He taught me how to waltz in our living room." "There might be dancing," Elena said, charmed by the child's earnestness. "Then you should definitely go with her." "Dad, but can I help you get ready? You'll need to look extra handsome." That Saturday evening, Michael stood nervously outside the grand ballroom in a borrowed suit, feeling completely out of place among the arriving guests in their elegant attire. When Elena appeared, she looked stunning in a midnight blue evening gown, but he could see the tension in her shoulders. "Thank you for this," she said quietly. "My parents are complicated people." The evening began smoothly enough. Elena's parents, distinguished and formal, seemed pleasantly surprised by Michael's genuine warmth and thoughtful conversation. He spoke easily about literature, having spent years reading while Lily did her homework, and his perspectives on education were both practical and insightful. But it was when Lily unexpectedly appeared that everything changed. "Dad!" she called out, having convinced the babysitter to let her come see him all dressed up. She looked radiant in her best dress, a simple yellow outfit that Elena recognized as the same color as her beloved cardigan. Lily ran to Michael, who scooped her up with obvious delight. "Sweetheart, what are you doing here?" "I wanted to see you at the fancy party, and I brought something for Miss Elena." Lily reached into her small purse and pulled out a handmade card, decorated with crayon drawings of flowers and hearts. "I made this for you," she said, presenting it to Elena with ceremony. "Dad said you were sad because your family lives far away, and you miss them. So I drew you a picture of a family. See? That's you and that's Dad and that's me. Because we can be your family too if you want." Elena's breath caught as she looked at the drawing. It showed 3 stick figures holding hands under a rainbow, with love written in Lily's careful first-grade handwriting across the top. "Lily also wrote something inside," Michael said softly, his own voice thick with emotion. Elena opened the card to find Lily's painstaking message. "Dear Miss Elena, Dad says you help make our school special. You make Dad smile when he talks about you. Families are made of love, not just blood. Love. Lily." Elena's composure finally cracked. Tears spilled down her cheeks as she knelt down and pulled Lily into a gentle embrace. "This is the most beautiful gift anyone has ever given me," she whispered. Elena's mother, who had been watching the exchange, stepped forward. "Elena, dear, you didn't tell us about this lovely child." Elena looked up at her parents, then at Michael and Lily. "This is what I should have told you from the beginning. I may not have the traditional life you envisioned for me, but I have something better. I have people who see who I really am and care about me anyway." Elena's father, a reserved man who rarely showed emotion, cleared his throat. "Young lady," he said to Lily, "would you like to dance with an old man?" As Lily giggled and took his outstretched hand, Elena's mother touched her daughter's arm. "She's right, you know. That little girl. Family isn't just about genetics. It's about choosing to love people and letting them love you back." Elena watched Michael dancing with her mother while her father waltzed with Lily, who was standing on his shoes and laughing with pure joy. "They're wonderful," her mother continued. "He's clearly devoted to his daughter, and she's got the biggest heart I've ever seen in a child." "They saved me," Elena said simply. "I didn't even realize how lonely I was until I met them." 6 months later, Elena made it official. Not with a wedding, though that would come in time, but by legally adopting Lily when Michael proposed, they truly become the family Lily had drawn in her picture. The adoption ceremony was small and perfect. Lily wore a new yellow dress that Elena had bought for the occasion, and when the judge asked if she understood what adoption meant, Lily replied solemnly, "It means Elena chooses to be my mom forever, just like Dad chose to be my dad forever, when Mommy went to heaven." There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. The evening of the adoption, as they sat together in their new home, Elena had insisted they needed more space for family dinners and Lily's art projects. Lily looked up from her coloring book. "Dad, do you remember when you were nervous about the fancy party?" I remember, Michael said, still amazed at how his life had transformed. I knew Elena would love us, Lily said matter-of-factly. Because love recognizes love. That's what Grandma Patterson used to say, right? Elena looked at her new daughter, this wise little girl who had somehow seen what the adults had missed. Your grandma was very smart. She also used to say that families grow in the heart before they grow anywhere else, Lily added, returning to her coloring. I think our family was already real in here, she patted her chest, before the judge made it official. Michael and Elena exchanged a look over Lily's head. Their daughter was right. Love had recognized love, and in choosing each other they had discovered that the most beautiful families are often the ones we create with intention, care, and open hearts. Sometimes what begins as pretense becomes the most authentic truth we've ever known. The greatest gifts are often given by the smallest hands, and the truest families are built not from expectation, but from the courage to choose love over convention.